Good evening. Welcome to the State of Business on our television with me, Kavish Kaparera. Let's take a look at today's headlines. The National Digital Roadmap was launched yesterday under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. Japanese government vows to cooperate in Sri Lanka's security measures by signing an agreement on security. News in detail. The Sri Lankan Telecom launched the National Digital Roadmap at the Nelumpokana Theatre yesterday under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena, marking a great leap forward in building a digital-friendly society. The proposed plan for integrated national digitization is offered through a multifaceted connection of 16 pillars through signifying areas such as smart government, smart security, smart health, smart transportation and mobility to covering all aspects of nation's socio-economic, infrastructural and administrative operations. The program, dubbed as Limitless You, devised to consolidate the smooth improving of Sri Lanka's transition and transformation as a fully digitized nation, cement Sri Lanka Telecom's primacy as the country's undisputed industry leader in the digital age, and nurture the maturation of employees, customers and citizens in general as sophisticated members of a highly developed and technological advanced society. Meanwhile, during the ceremony, President Maithripala Sirisena presented awards to those contributed in creating the National Digital Roadmap. Japanese government assures its fullest cooperation to Sri Lanka in curbing global terrorism by signing a bilateral agreement on security. Visiting State Minister for Foreign Affairs Toshiko Abe highlighted this fact, signing an agreement with Sri Lanka at the Temple Trees this morning. Moreover, during the bilateral talks, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe appreciated the unwavering assistance provided by the Japanese government on Sri Lanka's security measures. Furthermore, Premier Wickremesinghe informed the minister on the counter-terrorism proposal that will be executed along with India and the Maldives and Sri Lanka. Both parties also discussed on the future road development projects that will take place in partnership with both countries. President of Colombo City Hotels Association S. Shanti Kumar admits that relief package recommended by the Ministry of Finance will recuperate the tourism industry affected by the Easter Sunday tragedy. Explaining further on the relief package, President of Colombo City Hotels Association said that the two state banks, Bank of Ceylon and People's Bank, have agreed to defer the loan taken before April 21st for a period of 1 year including interest. Thus, capital and interest decreasing due to the moratorium period would be converted into a term loan which should be recovered from July 2020 and charged at the concessionary rate. Furthermore, the two state banks have also agreed to offer fresh working capital with a repayment period of 2 years with a 75% interest subsidy borne by the government from the effective interest rate until March 31st, 2020. Nevertheless, he highlighted that the private banks are yet to approve this scheme and that the staff loan scheme is yet to be launched, as both state and private banks are yet to respond positively for requests made in this concern. Ambassador of Sri Lanka to France, Buddhike Atauda, says that Sri Lanka has all the possibilities of going for the renewable energy sources, and he is in discussions with the French authorities to receive the French technology in the subject. The Sri Lankan ambassador to France made these remarks during a discussion with Minister of Power and Energy Ravi Karunanayake yesterday. Ambassador of Sri Lanka to France, Buddhike Atauda, met Minister of Power and Energy Ravi Karunanayake yesterday and engaged in discussions on Sri Lanka's power and energy consumption and the ways and means to self-sufficient the country with energy sources.
As Ambassador of Sri Lanka to France, I am here visiting different ministers to find out what the ministers want from the country that I am serving as ambassador. In my case, it's France, Spain, Portugal, Andorra and Monaco. So accordingly, I met the Honorable Minister of Power and Energy. According to him, he wants to immediately attend to the power needs in the country and become self-sufficient with power and energy. Also, he wants to move our country towards renewable energy. And especially renewable energy, he would like the Sri Lankans to own the renewable energy power plants so that way the money will stay within our country. So, accordingly, I'm going to work with the French government and the French technology and the French companies, how I can bring them over here and help Sri Lanka's vision.
Stay tuned for more news after this short commercial break. Welcome back. The Youth Forum 2019, organized by the Management Faculty of the University of Kelniya, kicked off today at the university premises for the fourth consecutive year under the theme of Purpose-Driven Career. Delivering the keynote speech at the event, Chief Executive Officer and the founder of Kopruka.com, Dulit Herath, emphasized that Sri Lanka should exploit the e-commerce sector, making use of the online platform since there is less competition in Sri Lanka's e-commerce sector.
Look, I keep telling everybody I meet, even if you are not interested in e-commerce today, please give it a shot. Think about what you can sell online. Sri Lanka's e-commerce is less than 0.1% of the retail still, which means good news for you. There is very less competition. If I give this talk in 2 years' time, I may not be able to say that because a lot of people are now getting onto it. Research what you can probably set up a small shop and sell online. If you can directly connect with me on LinkedIn, drop me a message, I'll send you a list of other example websites that you can go and see what other people are selling. They are mostly selling from homes. So you can start to venture into e-commerce in a small way.
The Sri Lanka Ports Authority has great plans for the future and they will come into realization with the implementation of the National Master Plan, its chairman Kavan Ratnayaka said. Speaking exclusively to our television, SLPA chief said that the joint scheduled venture for the East Container Terminal with Japan and India is purely to operate the port more competitively and cost-effectively.
On the question of the East Container Terminal, basically what the Sri Lanka Ports Authority envisages doing is borrowing from JICA on a 40-year loan, which will have a 10-year grace period at an interest rate of 0.1%, the required funding to build out East Container Terminal 1 and East Container Terminal 2. We also plan on setting up a terminal operating company, which will be 51% owned by the Sri Lanka Ports Authority and 49% owned by the nominees of the Japanese and Indian governments.
The Ports Authority Chairman Kavan Ratnayaka also mentioned that the East Container Terminal project will be instrumental in various ways, such as building capacity in parallel to the demand and serving deep draft vessels.
The Colombo port is currently approaching capacity, and what this project allows us to do is to build out capacity ahead of demand. It allows us to serve deep draft vessels in an efficient and effective manner and add capacity in a logical way, in a much needed way to the port of Colombo. The projections we see for container traffic through Sri Lanka is a very positive one, and we believe that building East Container Terminal quickly at this stage is critical to serve that need.
The 19th Exporters Forum organized by the Export Development Board provided a platform for the exporters representing a cross-section of the industries to interact with relevant government institutions and seek responses to their trade issues. The 19th Forum, which was held yesterday at the EDB Auditorium, was chaired by Deputy Minister of Development Strategies and International Trade Nalin Bandara. The Exporters Forum is held once in every 2 months as organized by the Export Development Board to resolve the issues faced by the exporters. EDB makes a platform for the exporters to meet the government officials and look for the solutions for their issues. EDB also appreciated the efforts taken by the exporters in contributing to the national economy by increasing their foreign exchange earnings.
Salusala, and what they are saying is a procedure that was followed at that period was not correct. So now they are trying to regularize it. Now in order to regularize it, the board at the Salusala has got another new project for which there is a board paper where they want to set up with the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Women's this thing to another facility under Salusala.
Stay tuned for stock updates after this short commercial break. Welcome back. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The All-Share Price Index gained 43.44 points, closed at 5,378.73, and the S&P SL 20 gained 16.66 points to close at 2,504.81. The turnover was 254.8 million rupees and 13 million shares were traded. Next up is Forex rates. Well, that's a wrap of the bulletin for the day. Signing off with a promise for tomorrow at the same time with nothing but the latest. Thank you and good night.